Benjamin Franklin. He has multiple identities, including scientists, inventors, politicians, physicists, diplomats, writers, industrialists, social activists, philosophers, publishers, printers, journalists, philanthropists, etc. He was involved in drafting many important American documents, including the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution. Benjamin Franklin's life spanned the entire 18th century. Many scholars call him an American saint. His face is printed on the largest denomination of U.S. banknotes, the $100. Franklin was born in Boston on January 17, 1706. His father, Josiah, immigrated to Boston from England in 1683 and made a living by making and selling candles. He was the youngest son among 17 children. President Washington once said to the outside world, "There are three people I admire most in my life. The first is Franklin, the second is Franklin, and the third is still Franklin." Franklin formulated 13 rules of conduct for himself. Let me share some ideas and encourage each other. Moderation, not eating enough and not drinking too much. Verdict, don't say anything that is harmful to others or yourself, and avoid trivial chatter. Order, things have their place and things are done in a timely manner. Determination, you must do what you have to do, and you must do what you are determined to do. Frugality, spend money to benefit others and yourself, and never waste it. Diligence, cherish time, spend time doing useful things, and avoid meaningless actions. Honesty, avoid hypocrisy and fraud. Be conscientious and fair in your heart, and speak the same way. Integrity, do not do things that harm others, but do things that are beneficial to people. This is your obligation. Moderation, don't go to extremes. If others' offenses against you are legitimate, you should be good at tolerating them. Neatness, keep your body, clothing, and residence clean. Tranquility, do not disturb yourself when dealing with trivial, ordinary, or unavoidable things. Chastity, do not indulge in excessive sexual activities which may cause harm to the body, and do not harm your own or others' peace and reputation. Humility, imitate Jesus and Socrates. Franklin did not achieve it overnight, but one thing a week. He waited until one virtue became a habit before practicing the next one. Franklin did not fully achieve it and often considered himself a failure, but this greatly promoted his own progress and contributed to success and happiness. Therefore, he devoted more space to the project in his autobiography, writing, "Therefore, I hope that some of my descendants will benefit from following the example." Today, we are going to read the life wisdom of this American pioneer and one of the founders of the United States, as well as the leader of the American independence movement. Money does not belong to the person who owns it, but only to the person who enjoys it. Those who spend money extravagantly are mortgaging their future. Be aware of small fees. The sinking of a large ship is sometimes caused by a slight breach. Spend your money on things that are good for you and others, and don't spend a penny wrong. If you know how to live within your means, you can become rich. A misstep can be quickly repaired, but a slip of the tongue may never be repaired. A fool's heart is in his mouth, but a wise man's mouth is in his heart. Proud people hate the pride of others. The most difficult emotion to suppress is pride, and no matter how hard you try to hide it and how hard you fight it, it still exists. Even if I dare to believe that I have completely overcome it, I am likely to be proud of my humility again. The only excuse for being immodest is that lack of humility means lack of insight. Vanity is the food of pride, and contempt is its drink. No animal is more diligent than the ant, yet it is the most taciturn. Despair destroys some, and arrogance destroys many. Bad habits know that they are really ugly, so they often wear a mask. Honesty is the best policy. If you make a mistake, you may get back on your feet immediately. If you break your promise, you may never recover. A good attitude is as important to the relationship between career and society as engine oil is to the machine. At 20, the will is the dominant force. At 30, the wit. At 40, the judgment. The biggest shortcoming of mediocre people is that they often feel that they are better than others. Those who mature early also wither early. Half-truths are often huge lies. Appreciation of beauty can be understood rather than expressed in words. It varies according to each person's mood, interest, and hobbies. Put the slander others say about you in the dust, and carve the kindness others show you on marble. Quarrel is a game that people play, yet it is a strange game that neither side has ever won. A standing farmer is nobler than a kneeling gentleman. Treat everyone with sincerity, live in harmony with the majority, hang out with a few, and be intimate with only one. The biggest reason for a person's failure is that he never fully trusts his own ability, and even thinks that he will definitely fail. Reading makes people enriched, thinking makes people profound, and talking makes people sober. Those who are willing to give up freedom in exchange for security will gain neither freedom nor security. Only by becoming the master of time can you become the controller of destiny. Thoughts produce behavior, and behavior must have effects. To study whether a thought is correct or not, instead of debating from the thought itself, it is better to look at the effect of its behavior. These people who love to argue and argue are generally unlucky in their affairs. They sometimes gain victory, but they never gain kindness, which is more useful to them. Treat everyone with sincerity, live in harmony with the majority, hang out with a few, and be intimate with only one person. In human relationships, sincerity and integrity are crucial. Any job is decent, the shame is laziness. If you don't want your enemies to know your secrets, don't tell them to your friends. Treasures misplaced are trash. Today is the only time we can survive. Let us not dwell on ourselves or brood over the aimlessness of the future or grieve over the past and make it a physical and mental hell for us. Doing your best to do something well is actually the first priority in life. Only those who can endure can achieve what they hope to achieve. If you want to be loved, love and make yourself worthy of love. In life, you should eat to survive, not live to eat. Hope is the source of life. Without it, life will wither. There has never been a good war or a bad peace. You must manage your own affairs, otherwise you will be led by them. Brothers are not necessarily friends, but friends are often brothers. Fish will go bad after 3 days, and guests will be disliked after 3 days. Tell me, and I will forget. Teach me, and I will remember. Let me practice, and I will learn. We are all born ignorant, but you have to work hard to stay stupid. Be slow in choosing friends, and even slower in changing them. There is nothing certain in this world except death and taxes. Since greed and happiness never meet, how can they know each other? Laziness moves so slowly that poverty soon overtakes it. To achieve great things, you must have both ideals and practicality, and not go to extremes. Health is an obligation, not only to oneself, but also to society. A leisurely life and laziness are two different things. Most fools think they are just ignorant. As in so many things in this world, people are saved not because of loyalty, but because of a lack of loyalty. Time should not be passed in vain, but should be used for useful work. All unprofitable actions should be completely stopped. Fortunately, lover's discharge is not as powerful as a lightning discharge, otherwise the consequences would be unimaginable. The health of the body depends largely on the spirit. If you want to have free time, don't waste it. A father is a source of wealth, a brother is a source of comfort, and a friend is both a source of wealth and comfort. Thinking should go in front of everyone, and wishing may as well stay behind. All evil deeds are not harmful because they are forbidden, but are forbidden because they are harmful. Make the most of your time if you hope to gain leisure. If man could accomplish half of what he wished for, his troubles would be doubled. Just as charm is bullshit, bullshit is also a form of charm. Hard-working family, hunger can't get through the door. Poverty itself is not terrible. What is terrible is the thought that one is destined to be poor or will die of poverty. Those who give up permanent freedom for temporary security neither gain freedom nor deserve security. Get up, you lazy guy. Don't waste any more time. There will be plenty of time for you to sleep in the grave. I won't say anything bad about anyone. I will only say good things about anyone I know. It turns out that everyone will bow down to my praise. Let everyone know you, but let no one understand you. If you always argue and refute, you may occasionally win, but it will be an empty victory because you will never win the favor of the other party. Only pain can teach. To engage in something, you must first decide your ambition. After deciding your ambition, you must go all out to implement it without hesitation. Diligence is the mother of good luck. Every investment in knowledge will always yield the best returns. He who ignores the present moment is wasting everything he has. For a rational animal, no matter what he wants to do, he can always find or create a reasonable reason. If passion strikes, let reason rule the mind. Don't ruin an apology with an excuse. Everyone has a reason to be angry, but rarely a convincing reason. In the affairs of this world, it is not faith that saves mankind, but the lack of faith. Only the dead can keep secrets. Help friends to maintain friendship, forgive enemies to gain their favor. Two people with empty pockets cannot straighten their waists. Why? Because you will ask for help. If you want to make a friend, then ask him or her to do you a favor. God heals, doctors charge fees. Laziness is like rust, consuming the body more than hard work. Keys that are often used are always shiny. Can't buy cheap goods in urgent need. Be careful when choosing friends, and be even more careful when changing friends. Those who sacrifice their freedom for the sake of security do not deserve either freedom or security. Reckless in youth, regretful in old age.